Hello everyone, welcome back to the stream. It's been a little while. I've been dealing with some stuff this last week. We went live last Wednesday, and then the moment we did, the YouTube live stream system went down. And then I was like, oh, okay, I'll just wait till this weekend. And then the first time I had to do it, we had some stuff over at our house, and I was like, yeah, I'll wait till the next day. Well, the next day I went to go do it, and guess what happened? The Amazon stream went down, so I couldn't stream to Twitch. So I want to make sure whenever I'm streaming, I'm going to be on both platforms. So I don't want to do one for one, not one for the other. So, well, we're here now today. So we got a lot to talk about. 2 weeks of Magic have passed, and because they refuse to let us rest, we have 2 weeks full of news. So let's start things off with the Spellify for today. Oh, this is it? Isn't it? No, that guy doesn't cost 4 black. So it looks like, is that Rankle Master of Pranks? 2 black, right? Rankle Master of Pranks. Well, look at that. There's very few cards that have triple colon the side, the triple like listed bullet points in it. So that's a pretty good one to start us off with. Let's keep going with that, huh? So, I wanted to talk about the Spider-Man survey stuff. We have had ups and downs, and then everyone kind of moved on from it already because they threw the next thing at us to talk about. But I think it's worth mentioning, at least on our platform. Uh, the surveys that they do for every set are super important. They do look at them genuinely. And I'd recommend if you have any grievances with a set or you liked a set a lot, fill out the survey and let them know. When we were doing this stream last week, we were going to do the survey together, but I don't think it's worth the time to do it on stream today. It's only got a few days left, so if you haven't done it yet, go do it. It's going to be in the description of the YouTube video that is this stream. So fill out that survey, let them know how you feel about the Spider-Man set, but I'm hoping they put another survey out for this next part. So, for those of you who do not know, Tuesday, that is yesterday, we had a update to the bracket system, a little just check in with the Commander format panel. Gotta say, bless you, Gavin Verhey, for taking all the heat off of these other people. Once again, doing it just like you did for Pauper. But they floated a lot of stuff there. We're taking 10 cards off the Game Changer list, which I'm a little iffy on. Some of the reasoning. I don't dislike the reasoning. I just wish I wish they went a different direction. Instead of taking commanders off the Game Changer list, I wish they added more to it. Just because telling people who just don't understand social cues that, hey, maybe your all-in combo deck does not belong here in bracket 2, at these bracket 2 tables. But at the last couple Magicons, we've had pretty good success with pairing people off with brackets. So I understand why they're like, maybe this isn't a big issue. But nobody played Turgid or Mono White Elishnorn, either of them, in the command zone pretty much ever. And those are cards that people would have wanted as game changer commanders. Turgid stayed as one, but they took Urza off, which I think is just the biggest mistake they made in this entire thing, is taking Urza off the game changer list, because Urza Lord High Artificer is a ridiculous card. I don't want to see that ever again. But the next thing they floated was banning Rhystic Study and Thassa's Oracle. A few months ago, I remember hearing some CEDH people say they want Thoracle gone, just because they want some more variety in their meta. But I haven't heard much outspoken cry for it now that they've actually floated it. So let the CEDH people figure it out, right? That's not really our space yet, at least. We're going to slowly work into the CEDH space. But let them figure out if they want it gone. Because in casual, Thassa's Oracle is already being controlled by the whole you can't win with a 2-card infinite. Or you can't win with a 2-card combo. This is literally the definition of a 2-card combo is Thoracle and Consultation. Or the other ones like Thought Lash, etc. We'll see some of those later. So don't mind if that one stays on the Game Changer list, but if CEDH wants it gone, they want it gone. But the one that I personally think we should get rid of is Rhystic Study. So let me explain my reasoning here. Well, I got more time because we spent a very small amount of time on this stuff in the podcast. So, Ristic Study would be a perfectly fine Magic card that no one would play if Magic players were responsible and if games were in a perfect world. What do I mean? So, Ristic Study, which I'll bring up here if you don't remember what it is a 3 mana enchantment. We'll switch the arts to this better one. 3 mana enchantment. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, you may draw a card unless that player pays 1. So, this should just be 3 mana. Whenever an opponent casts a spell, counter unless they pay 1. Right? Like, that's basically what this is. But no one ever treats it that way because just ignoring it and letting them draw 13, 14 cards feels better, quote unquote, than having to actually pay your taxes on this. But that's not, people who have that as their only stance, I don't think recognize the context in which it exists, right? This is not like in a vacuum where you have 5 mana to cast your 4 mana spell and you have a land so you can afford to pay to wait till the next turn. If someone who's like in first plays Ristic Study on 2 off of like a Soul Ring or a different 1 mana ramp spell like a Llanowar Elf or whatever, everyone else is still setting up for the game. If they delay by multiple turns and let you then just take your next setup turn uncontested, they will lose the game. And if you're in like a CEDH or formats where everyone's casting 7 spells in their first 2 turns, and then it's 1 spell at a time after that, except for interaction, Ristic is way beyond the pale in that format. You can't afford to pay for all the Ristic Study triggers when you are trying to win on turn 1. Just not possible. Sure, you could wait until turn 3, but then the next 2 people in turn order will win before you. So, like, within the context, Ristic Study is too strong, and it heavily incentivizes people into blue for that mid-range piles. Everyone's already going to be playing blue in CEDH anyways. It's where all the free interaction is. It's super, super important. Ignoring the combo of it all. Super important to have blue to interact with your opponent's wins and to protect your own. So, Ristic is just a little bit beyond the pale. It makes blue a little bit better. I feel like we were in a better place for CEDH when I was checking in on it. When we still had Dockside legal and we had Dockside loops in the red side of things, and we had the Thoracle stuff in the Dimir side of things, and never the two shall meet except for just specifically one deck. But I don't know. It's a very complicated topic. I think Ristic should go because in the lower brackets, it is still a problem. Even if you're only getting 3 cards turn off of it, it is 3 mana, draw 3 every turn rotation. If they're only casting 1 big spell, they're not going to pay for it. People just get mad. I have seen tables where somebody is far ahead in first place, and then somebody else casts Ristic Study, and suddenly the game is just over. So it's just tough. Someone else is far ahead in the first, and then somebody who's in last casts their Ristic, and now the other 2 players are like, all right, it's time to kill that guy. So it's a mess, but I think it should just go. The argument that it's too iconic to go is my least favorite argument out of anything in Magic. Soul Ring should be a game changer. They took precons off of bracket 2, put Soul Ring in the game changers list, give everyone a 50-cent game changer, move on with it, right? But what do I know? But the most important of these that they floated, I think, for our purposes as a deck building channel, is the hybrid mana change. So what does that mean for those of you who don't know? These are this is a Search Your Nuance Skyfall is hybrid. This little symbol here on banded attachments, we'll do one that makes more sense. We'll do Ashiok Dreamrender. This card is 1 hybrid Dimir. And so if this change happens, which they are just saying they want the conversations, they don't actually intend to do it. This change would mean that you could put Ashiok in any deck that contains blue or any deck that contains black. Currently, we're treating these symbols as blue and black. They want you to then think of these symbols as blue or black. I personally think this would be a great change overall. And the one that I think is messing people up the most is these kind of cards. What they call two brid mana, where it's two or a single color. They are letting you treat these as a 6 mana advice from the Fae. Is 6 mana advice from the Fae good? Not really, but they're letting you float that idea. The big one that everyone likes to point to that's a panic for this is Beseech the Queen, which would be 6 mana. Search your library for a card with mana value equal or less than the number of lands you control and put it into your hand. Guys, there are more cards legal in Commander than there are stars visible in the night sky in most places of the world. Unbanning these is not going to ruin the sanctity of the format. It's not going to damage color identity. I've seen people say this is a slippery slope to every deck being able to have whatever colors of cards you want in it. That's not true. That's just not true. This is a singular mechanic that Wizards of the Coast designers have been talking about updating in this way for years, literal years. This has been a conversation we've had many times, but it's never been officially floated like this before. And the reason why I personally, as a deck builder, want this change to go through is the companions. Every companion is hybrid. So these are some of the most fun cards in Commander. I understand these have caused some issues in older formats, right? It's broken. It's a inherently powerful mechanic to start with an extra card in your opening hand. And we need to be careful when we are brewing more of this. However, Gyruda, Kahira, Karuga, Luris, Obosh, Amori, and Zerda would all be valid companions for way more decks. Gigantha has the 5-color activation cost, so it would only be good for 5-color decks still, but that's always going to be the case because of how they did it. 1 second. But, like, I would adore what this would do to the deck building scene if you opened these up. Imagine taking a blue-white deck, like a control deck, and then adding only even Commander mana cost cards so you can have this big finisher outside of the game with Gyruda. Imagine taking your Henzi Toolbox Tori deck that you already are incentivized to play big spells in, and then slapping a Karuga in it and to get all these powerful spells and this little draw in the companion zone. Would it be powerful? Of course it'd be powerful. Companions are inherently powerful, but it is not the level of power that is detrimental to the gameplay of Commander. And it is instead a restriction that would breed creativity, right? People are saying they don't want hybrid mana because cards are supposed to be these certain colors or whatever. Guys, if you have a white, black Cats deck, and you want to have Kahira as your companion, or put Kahira in the deck, go for it. You could already do this with Rule Zero. The reason we're having this conversation right now is we want to open this up to everyone and make it an official change. I cannot count the number of times I've heard stories of Kitchen Finks, a green-white hybrid card, being in mono-white or white-black decks, or the amount of times that I've seen people try and put Luris in decks that only contain black mana, because that's how they're used to playing it in 1v1 formats. I think it's genuinely a really cool change, and I wish that they opened up this change simply so we could do companions. And the Rule Zero conversation, people are saying, oh, we'll just Rule Zero it. I will be doing this after the change if they don't go for it. But there's been a lot of pearl clutching, and guys, it's really, it would just be really, really cool, as opposed to just, oh, it's going to ruin the game. So, that's my take on hybrid mana, and the other two builders here, Bracket Builders, do agree with me on this one. So you're gonna be seeing us treat this change as if it went through in our personal decks soon. For example, I intend to put the Thopter Sword combo into In Spirit, the Jeskai spaceship deck, because I think having a Thopter Foundry like machine makes sense for that flavor, which I think is cool. But like, there's a lot of really cool cards that this opens up. Like, for example, in Tarkir Dragonstorm, we got these 2 Brid cards for limited. Uh, so it would open up all of these to multicolor, which would be really sweet. Um, Looks like we just got a message. Strawberry System 22. I'm a Magic player. Well, you're in good company. Oh yeah? What's your unique idea for Magic content? Let's see. But yeah, so this would open up all of these for any deck. Period. If you have like the colored pips, you could pay for the colored pips, or you could pay the 2 and then the colored pips. So like for example, in your mono blue deck, you could play Gurmag Night Watch and pay 4 and a blue to cast it for its 3/3 side. I think this is fine. The best one here is Rakshas's Bargain, but like, it's fun. It's fun. All right, so now we're gonna get into the meat of tonight's episode. We have 4 deck upgrades for you. We're gonna be working on from scratch Shiko Paragon of the Way. Oh, here we go. Let's see. I randomly select a number from 1 Elimination Alpha to 160 Marco and Spider-Man via pack of whatsoever mainline pack base set I land on and crack it live. Did you land on 1 immediately? Or something like Arabian Nights or whatever? 127. Oh, Call Time. That's not bad. That's actually great. Call Time's a cool set. But yeah, so Shiko Paragon of the Way here. This is going to be the first deck we're going to be upgrading, or rather building. So we're going for bracket 4 on this one. Interesting. Okay. So, what does this deck do? Shiko, Paragon of the Way, is 2 blue-red-white for a 4/5 Spirit Dragon with Flying and Vigilance. Whenever it enters, exile target non-land card with mana value 3 or less from your graveyard. Copy it, then you may cast a copy without paying its mana cost. So, for those of you who do not know, this card has some really cool combos with 3 Blind Mice. So this is a Saga from Wild Little Drain. The first step is to make a 1/1, and then the second and third step is to create a token that's a copy of target token you control. So, if you have a token copy of 3 Blind Mice, like Shiko would create when you exile from your graveyard, the second step of your Saga, you can have it target itself, and make another one. And the next turn, when it goes to 3, you can have it target itself again, and make another one, and another one, and another one. And this would essentially result in every turn making more and more and more and more 1/1 creature tokens, and then giving your board a buff every couple turns as well from the 4 ability when it goes away. Is this game-breakingly powerful? No. Is it awesome? Absolutely. And we intend to use this with Caretaker's Talent, which is the same thing. This is a class, right? So you can pay 1, and when it becomes level 2, create a token that's a copy of target token you control. So if you have a token copy of Caretaker's Talent, you can pay 1 white mana, upgrade itself, target itself, make another one. And this one is a card draw engine, which is awesome. Very, very powerful. So these two going together, you're going to draw like your entire deck, and you're going to just make a giant army of 1/1 tokens. So that's a great, very cool thing. So how are we going to get these going? Well, we need to get these cards into the graveyard to then get our commander in, and then get our commander in play to copy them. So we're going to play some of the Faithless Looting. As well as, what was the blue-white one called from the other deck? The other Innistrad sets. I think it's like something looting. Is it Faithful Looting? Or Faithful Mending? Yeah, faithful mending. So it's the opposite of faithful looting. See, instead of looting, you're mending. Ah, that's why it does the same thing. Gain 2 life, draw 2, then discard 2. There's a few other cards we can play here. So we are in blue, so we get to play a cool card draw engine that also helps our commander in Ghostly Pilferer. Whenever it comes on tap, you pay 2. If you do draw a card, opponent casts a spell from anyone other than hand, you draw a card. So that's their commanders. If you have this in play and they draw their commanders, you draw a card. And then you can discard to it to give it the ability to not be blocked. Let's see. So what else are we looking for here? I think cheap non-creature spells. Well, actually, it doesn't even have to be non-creature. It could be a creature spell that we're copying here. Let's look up sort EDH rack. What's the best the best token cards according to EDH rack? I think we're gonna probably put Smothering Tithe in as one of our game changers, but we'll see. Yeah, there's just Saga's a good card, but I'm not doing it. Oh, yeah, we need Isle of Oblivion. We're making a lot of tokens. Facebreaker's good. We have a Vigilant Commander. Don't think we're doing these things. Yeah, we'll do Mondrak because we're doing token stuff. Yeah, let's actually go ahead and do our token doublers right now. So with this deck, I would like to do like the Mondrak stuff. So like we have Mondrak, and I think it's Starfield Shepherd. Let's see. Let's see. As token. How do they word these things? I mean, we should do Warp. Strawberry System. Build a deck for every Smash Brothers character. Well, actually, it's really funny you say this. Do you know about the unknown events that they do at these Magicons? They have these events that you can go to if you go to a Magicon, or I think they also did them at PAX, and then they did one at Gamescom, I believe. They've done them a couple times in the year, and at them, digging on the desk right now, at them they have these little playtest cards that you can get. So this one is the one from Atlanta. So they're literally just a normal Magic card with a sticker on top of them that gives them this text. It's how they playtest internally. And at the latest of these, they made one for Edge of Eternities that was literally called Falco. And it's a Jeskai spacecraft and vehicle commander that gives all your spells spectacle. It's really cool. I'm waiting for Scryfall to get it on their website so that way I can add it to a list and then actually like build that deck. I think it'd be a really fun one to build. I had a buddy who built a Jeskai vehicles commander, and the strategy seems really cool and strong. It's just the commander didn't feel like it fit properly. It didn't have a good fit. Well, this one does fix some of the issues with the idea, because it's spectacle. If you don't know what it is it's a cost reducing mechanic, so it makes your spells cost less. So what it does in this deck is if you've dealt damage to somebody with a vehicle or spacecraft, you have your spells in your hand have spectacle, which is their original cost minus 2 colorless mana. So you could very simply you very easily then just be like, all right, cool. Here's this 4 mana spaceship. Here's this 4 mana spaceship. Here's this 4 mana spaceship. Because they're very colorless mana heavy and pip light on these spacecraft, and some of the old vehicles too. All right, so what token doublers do we want? So I want Mondrak and I want Exalted Sunborn. We're a blink deck, so the warp cost is actually pretty nice. We just warp it and then ephemerate it. And then Special Facebreaker is a really good card if you're attacking, which we intend to attack a good bit in this deck. Let's get all of our ramp out of the way too. So we're a Jeskai deck, so I want Talisman of Conviction, Creativity, and Progress. So we have Soul Ring, Triple Talisman. Let's see. There's a white mana rock from MH3. I think it's MHC from Modern Horizons Commander. No. It might just be MH. It might. What was the set code for Modern Horizons Commander? Let's do it this way. Set MH3 Modern Horizons. What do they call it? Modern Horizons 3 Commander. And it was artifact, and it was white. Yeah, I mean, picking a card to represent each Smash Brothers character would be a little crazy. I mean, doesn't Ultimate have like nearly 100 characters in it? I used to play that game with a lot of friends. Haven't seen that one in a while, but yeah. So this is Hourglass of the Lost. This one's really good. I kept forgetting about this card when I'm doing upgrades, but I want to make sure I remember. This is just a 3-mana rock, taps for mana, and then eventually you can tap and remove X time counters from it and exile it. Then you would turn each non-land permanent card with mana value X from your graveyard to the battlefield, activate only sorcery. So like, as long as their Wrath doesn't hit your artifacts, you get everything back. That's super nice on a 3-mana rock. And then we have So actually, I would normally put Midnight Clock in this deck. I don't want this graveyard to be shuffled back into my library. I want the graveyard to get built up as we go for Shiko to then pop stuff out of it for value. Oh yeah, and then we can do Gwen Stacy. So if you don't know how this one works and why we're including it, this is a 2-mana 2/1, enters exile top card. Little weak of a card, but the back of it's pretty cool. Flying Vigilant Haste. When you play a land for exile, cast a spell from exile, put a counter on her, remove 2 counters to the top card of your library. It's a 4/4. If you cast, if Gwen Stacy's in your graveyard and Shiko casts Gwen Stacy, you can cast the backside because it's an MDFC. So you cast this spell for free, even though it costs more than Shiko's requirement. You get the backside for free. Just a cool little effect you could play in this deck. Alright, what other stuff would be cool to make copies of? Well, we're doing Caretaker's Talent, 3 Blind Mice. Sagas are pretty inherently good in this commander. So let's take a look at some sagas. There's 105 valid sagas. So you know what we gotta do. Figure out which ones to see in play and then scroll a little past them. Yeah, Fable is perfect. It refills our hand, fills up our graveyard, and also is just a cool value engine. What block first control the saga, search a library for a mountain card, by the battlefield, create Smog. I like this. Make some tokens. It ramps you a little bit. It's very slow ramp, but it's cool. Summon Bahamut's a little beyond the payoff for what we need here. Elspeth conquers death. Exile target permanent controls mana by 3 or greater. Yeah, I like this. It's a 5-mana exile something, make it so the Wraths are harder to cast, and then bring back something on the 3rd turn. Just a very overall nice one. Search your library for legendary creature card, reveal it, put it in your hand, and then shuffle. Do it again. The creature you control can double strike on a turn. The ring attempts you. I'll put this in considering. I think the only legend we would want to tutor out would be Mondrak, and I don't think I want to play 4-mana tutor Mondrak face up because people would get a little upset with us. Whenever source and opponent controls damage to you, flip, they take 2, and then they can hit 5 times. I actually really like this Elish Norn. I'm going to put her in here. I think we can hit this requirement with all the token stuff. Perfect. Restoration of Aganjo is kind of the example of what we're looking for. It's a 3-mana thing that does something when it enters. You may discard a card when you do return a target permanent card with mana value 2 or less from the battlefield tapped. So we can reanimate something that we've discarded, and then we have this exile this saga, return it. But the discard means we could discard something we want to reanimate with Shiko, and then return this, flip it over, and do other stuff with it. Summon Yojimbo. 89 characters. 5 of them are alternate forms of other characters, however, so 84 would be probably better. However, unique way to view a project such as this, what really cuts the details of who each fighter is. That's very cool. That's very, very cool. Summon Yojimbo. Exile artifact, enchantment, or tap creature. The next turn, creature attack you. Okay, Summon Yojimbo is a really cool creature. It lasts for 4 turns, which is plenty of time. This card is awesome. I'll take a look at this later. Thank you, though, Strawberry. In 8/8, tap all non-land permanents and controls. They don't tap. They don't tap. Gain control of target permanent controls. Not really this one. Put a counter on up to one target creature. Create a food token. Draw a card. Make a food token. Make a 1/1 halfling for each food control. Yeah, this is cool. Plus one in there. Draw 2 to the discard. Draw 2 to the discard. Shuffle a number of target to your library. Add a blue. A little slow. No. Except target creature puts this battlefield. Put a counter on each 2 tokens. You need 2 life. Not the biggest fan of Summon Ixion. If you don't like loop it, it's not very good. Yeah, we already have 3 blind mice in here. See. Every character has a tarot card, 1 of 78. It maps down quite well, and you can simply build around the card's ideas and call it Mario or whatever. Interesting. 3 mana, 1, 2, and 3, mill 3 cards. You may put a historic card from among them into your hand. Artifacts, legendaries, and sagas, and the historic spells you cast cost this turn cost 2 less to cast. I mean, we want to fill our graveyard, so this is kind of perfect. This is 3 mana, put 9 cards in, and then we can draw out artifacts, legends, and sagas. We have a lot of sagas in this deck. We have a lot of cool artifacts. Just ramp at least, right? Not really what we're doing here. Clive is perfect. This is enters, discard 2 cards, and draw that many cards. You know what it is. Maybe, no, not what we're looking for there. It's a really long saga. You target opponent, each draw 2 cards. You know, there's a lot of cards in Assassin's Creed that just slip through the cracks. You and target opponent each draw 2 cards. Exile target artifact that opponent controls. Each player chooses 3 non-lands they control. Destroy all others. Strange for sure. Phasing of Zolfir. Trial of a Time Lord. Oh, the Go for the Freet. I love Go for the Freet. I like this because it's ticking down forever, making tokens trigger our caretaker's talents. Okay. I think that's plenty. So we have 9 enchantments in here to play with our commander. So let's get some blink going, right? Ephemerate. Ghostly Flicker. Ephemerate, Ghostly Flicker. Cloud Shift. Teleportation Circle. Felia. Exuberant Shepherd. It's Brago, right? Yeah, we're gonna add Brago to the deck, but we're not gonna add Brago. We're gonna add Miku Brago. Whenever she deals cabin damage to a player, exile any number of target non-land permanents you control to return those cards to the battlefield under their owner's control. Let's see here. It's in there. Okay. Interesting. Give me just a moment, folks. Oh, that's diabolical. Hmm. That's crazy. Sorry, people on Twitch. I've been streaming to YouTube this whole time, but it was private, so no one could see what we were doing. That's funny. Yeah, so we are. Hi, everyone who's here from YouTube. Sorry about that, guys. The full VOD will be going up later, so don't stress too much about what you missed. We're building Shiko and then upgrading 3 viewer decks tonight: Claveleno, Marchesa, and Iriette. This is Shiko bracket 4. I was wondering why they. All right, so yes, Brago, King Eternal, Miku, Queen Electric. So whenever she does come to player account number, any target not part you control, turn those cards back under their owner's control. Did I spell that right? Some good blink cards in here, right? Yeah, Solemn Simulacrum. One Ring is actually pretty nice to blink. We are going for Racket 4. We're trying to go harder and faster than our opponents. We'll do the lands later. I think I just want to play Sun Titan because we're getting stuff out of the graveyard. Lauren's pretty good to blink. Witch Enchanter's pretty good to blink. We'll see if we need to play our recruiters. Old Drifter's a great blink card. Okay. We're gonna play a Dualcaster Twin Flame combo, by the way, in case you're wondering why we're adding Dualcaster in. Let's do the Twin Flame thing now, actually. And then to that end, we can do Molten Duplication. So where were we on the enters effects? Let's see, what could we go for? I mean, we're gonna add Null Drifter and Quantum Riddler, that's for sure. Do we have any ones we care about? I don't think we care about any ones. You know, we're in Jeskai, so we probably should be doing the double recruiter package. That one's pretty good. Like when you get to do the whole recruiter of the guard, go find Imperial Recruiter, and then blink them both. Let's see. Paragon Dragon's a really good one to blink. Warlord's Call is good if you're flickering all your creatures over and over again. Let's get Spellseeker or Chaomancer in here too. Oh, Conqueror's so good. There's a trend with Commander players that I notice where a new card comes out that's just broken, everybody puts it in decks and then forgets about it. And then like 6 months later, people go, "Oh yeah, that one is actually pretty good." Oh, I love a Skyclave Apparition in a blink deck. Yeah, so I'm going for bracket 4 here because there's a lot of tutoring going on. And so I don't think it would be valid to call this thing less than 4. We'll get a little Resto Angel action. There's a couple of other Resto Angel likes we can play as well. I love an Enduring Courage too, since we're playing all these creatures. A big old pile of goblins, get a little Aether Channeler. We can get a Junk Winder. We have all these tokens coming. Get a little Discover action going on. Little Feldy. Okay, so let's go to the top here. Alright, so we're filling out pretty nicely. Let's go take a look at our recruiter package. So we're in Jeskai, so we have access to all the crew recruiters. Power 2 or less and toughness 2 or less. So Recruiter the Guard can go find Imperial Recruiter can go find Spellseeker. Spellseeker can go find Ephemerate. So, what can we do from there? Well, we're not in Simic, so we can't go and grab any of the like other creature like the birthing pod effects that are on spells. Spellseeker go find Ephemerate / other brink effects is nice. Recruiter, we're going to be mostly finding the other half of our deck, right? We can do the Archaeomancer thing, though. So, Archaeomancer plus a way to make mana is pretty good. I have a Solitude. Do I want the other free elementals? I don't think I do. Let's do Null Drifter, and we can do its name Quantum Riddler. What's the Discover creatures? Oh, if you cast it. Lame. See, he could do it. see. We can also do rediscover the way. It's one straight out of standard. That one's very cool. Another enchantment. We need, if we're gonna be having the card legal, I'm gonna play Ristic Study in this deck. Smothering Tithe. We have Soul Ring. We have Soul Ring. We need Arcane Signet as well. Playing Curse Mirror, Hourglass of the Lost, One Ring, Brass Tunnel Grinder, 14 enchantments. Drop a guide. Let's do Tersa, Light Shatter. I don't think the Gwen Stacy combo is worth it. Dualcaster Mage, Flicker Wisp. Isn't there another Dualcaster Mage equivalent? That's fine, we'll just play the one. Is it Dance of? Oh no, that's the return. Isn't there like a Blink X creature spell that's 2 mana? Let's go check EDH Rec. Commanders, 3 color, Jeskai. Shiko gonna be on here? No, not really. Surprising. Really strong commander. There he is. Okay. So everyone's doing Blink, right? Because, I mean, that's the coolest thing to do with this guy. Yes! Hide on the Ceiling is the one I'm thinking of. Let's see how else people are playing. See what I missed. Yeah, Displacer Kitten, Davenport Mage, Soul Herder, Vega. Yeah, we'll do Game Changers in a bit. Yeah, these are the Game Changers, so of course they're the more CEDH things. Yeah, Pinnacle Monk, Dualcaster Mage, Kaikar. Yep. Let me see, isn't there also the Blue March, I think? Or is that Phase? Yeah, Blue March is Phase out. It is not Exile the Return. Oh. Oh boy. Nintendo was like, yeah, you need an ad now. Oh yeah, Roiling Dragonstorm is perfect for this deck. And we can also go for Meringue, River Regent. This is definitely going to be a deck we have to cut down into the right numbers here. High on the Ceiling. I actually do like the Soul Herder. I haven't built a Blink deck in so long that I forgot about Displacer Kitten. Oops. Did anyone else in here have the thing I'm looking for? I'm gonna get Displacer Kitten, don't worry, I didn't forget. Paragon, what's Cleric, Philios, Subject Vocalist. It's a little win more, but I mean, that's the whole deck, right? Yeah, Yoriano needs to be in here. We're putting Vivi in here. You're crazy. Echo of Fate, Scroll Shift, Parting Gust. I do like Parting Gust. Yeah. Gotta love that one. Alright. We're gonna go back in here. Delayed Blast Fireball. That's what I saw right at the end, and I was like, perfect. If we cast this for 3, it deals 2 damage to each opponent and each creature they control, and then if you exile it with Shiko, it deals 5 to each opponent and each creature they control, which is very good. A little one-sided board wipe attached to our commander. We need to do Yorion, the Sky Nomad, Displacer Kitten. Okay, so Displacer Kitten, how did the loops go again? I know 3 Fairy does it. You have, a rock that's with 3 and then 3 Fairy. It does it, if I remember correctly. Which Displacer Kitten at? I just added it. 4 mana. Oh, we have a lot of 4 drops. I think it's not good spell, because 1 target, 9 target control. Control. Where's Displacer Kitten at? If I click on the card on EDH Rec, you can go and look at combos. I don't know if you guys knew this. It's a really good one. Where is the kitten? You just go search for it. So, combos. Fairy Time Raveler, Displacer Kitten, Soul Ring. Yes, that's what it is. Because it has to be a rock that makes more mana than it costs to cast it. So, this is it too? Why does this do it? For each turn available, cast the 1 ring. Fairy. Oh, okay. It wouldn't. You could just do the cast the 1 ring every turn. Yeah. We will put 3 Fairy in here. To Fairy Time Raveler. Great. Okay. So it is, what was that card called? So it's exile and then investigate and then they come back, right? It's like disorder in the court. Exile X creatures, then investigate X times, return them to after the beginning of the next end step. This is what I wanted to go grab to go with our spell seeker. Just like boop, 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 boop. Right? Great. I like Faithless Mending. I like Hide in the Ceiling. Let's just get some more blinking going on here. Cloud Shift Ephemerate, Ghostly Flicker, Exile, Creature, Return, Battlefield. Okay. Ephemerate's obviously the number 1, followed by that one. Conjurer's Closet, Eerie Interlude, Cloud Shift, Teleportation Circle, Essence Flux, Thassa Deep Dwelling, Eternal Wanderer, Deadeye Navigator, Philidor Guardian, Soul Herder, Flicker Wisp, Displace, Parting Gust, Momentary Blink, Ghostway, another round. Okay, I think that's plenty. Soul Ring, Signet, Talisman. We're on 11 artifacts, so I don't think we can afford to play Mox Opal. We can play Mox Amber. Put Mox in. Chromox? I don't think so. Mox Amber, sure. Hey, we have a dragon. Mox Jasper. If you're wondering why I'm looking for Moxen right now, it's because I'm putting more stuff into combo with Displacer Kitten. So we'll play those 2 Moxen we're allowed to play. Increase our artifact count a little bit. Yes, so this is a bracket 4, so it's an all-in combo deck, but works on blinking and like generating huge amounts of value and then killing everybody with a cool combo finish. CDH lists would obviously not be playing things like Eternal Wanderer, Elish Norn, Summon Yojimbo, CJ Commander, Wander Midler, Sun Titan, right? So it's not CDH. We're not building for a metagame. We gotta go in and add our removal now, and then our wraths. We already have two, I believe, because we have Eternal Wanderer and we have, where's that card at? Eternal Wanderer and Delayed Blast Fireball are the two that we have. Yeah, let's switch this printing to one that's actually legible. Great. So for the last of our wraths, let's do, what is the card called? So it's Blue Burrow. It says gift a card. Let's see. Starfall Invocation. So you can destroy all creatures, gift a card to your opponent, and then you can get back your stuff. This lets you wrath every turn with a Chaomancer if that's what you want to do as a sicko, but more importantly, in our context of our deck, it lets us wrath, reanimate Shiko, and then Shiko reanimates something else. So that's awesome. Alright. Let's see here. We have a lot of stuff to go do. So we gotta do Swords to Plowshares. Swords. Excise the Imperfect. We have red for we could do Chaos Warp. I don't want to do Chaos Warp though at this bracket. There's a lot of cards that if they flip, you just die. So we will instead go for another white card. Memories of Nibelheim. Stroke of Midnight. So those are the four. We also have Parting Gust, which is good for popping something. Let's do some little protection now. So I want Clever Concealment. Good. Clever Concealment because we are doing a lot of non-land permanent. We'll do Teferi's Protection. Then for our counter spells, we're going to do Arcane Denial, Mana Drain, Force of Will, and then we're going to do if you control your commander, type instant, if you control instant, you know the ones we're going for. We're going for, what? Oh, I guess. Oh, that doesn't work either. Deflecting SWAT. And the free if you control your commander counterspell. I always forget it because I never play the card. Mana, commander, counter, instant. Non-creature. Fierce Guardianship. I'm sorry, you guys probably yell at me in the comments on that one. But I do want Fierce here. Alright, good suite of protection. Some self-protection, wraths. Let's also get, we want another counterspell. I think I'm good here. I think I'm good. I think that's plenty of counter magic for this deck. We're not an all-in. We're not control really. We're just using this to protect ourselves from dying. We have Tiff Pro. We have Clever Concealment. We have our wraths. We have a fine amount of removal. Our ramp is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Not really 6, 7. And then like 8 in here. I could do for 1 or 2 more. Oh, we have the sagas that ramp us too. Relation of Engandra, 3 Blind Mice. We also do what's that card called? It's the. We can just check the Game Changers list, and it's still on there. Oh yeah, whoops, almost forgot my Rift. And Field. I thought it was a Game Changer. Did they take it off? Oh, right, they did in the last batch. Set MKC, I believe. Yes. Is first printing. I'll find it. It's the one with all the stolen art. Yeah, Trouble in Pairs. Okay. So we're playing Field of the Dead. Let's go ahead and grab our lands. So Command Tower. We're a 3-color deck. Exotic Orchard is actually good for us here. Mirrored Landscape is a trap in higher brackets. Play it in your precons. We'll do all the off-color fetches because we're doing Field of the Dead. I don't like that off-color fetches work, but it's cool, so, you know, triggers my Field of the Dead. Obviously, it makes your deck a lot more expensive, but, like, just proxy them, they're fetch lands. Wow, Seeking the Super's already broken this high on the list. That's crazy. I mean, it deserves to be this high, but it's just like having it already this high on the lands list is impressive, to say the least. This is the most boring part of deck building, is filling out the mana base. That's why I like Field of the Dead, because it makes it kind of interesting, because you have to go reach for other cards, but it's just playing more powerful lands. So it doesn't really make it that interesting. Yeah, going all the way down here for Surveillance is a little crazy. Maybe we'll play Risk My Village, that one's free. Shiko's Archive. And there's the Verges. If you've not played with the Verges yet in Commander, you need to, guys. They are the best lands you can put in your decks. They are under $20. They are powerful. They are good includes. Ooh, a little bit of a hiccup there. Okay. Flood Farm Verge, River Pyre Verge, and Sun Billow Verge. It's just that you're going to be kicking yourself in a few years if you don't pick up your Verges while they're under 10 for Commander. We're already at 35, 41 with MDFC, and we haven't even added our basics in yet. White, blue, red, snow covered, island, mountain, plains. And people say Field of the Dead is hard. Land, Commander. This one is a good one. Here it is, Sanctum of Eternity. So for a while, I really wanted them to print a Caracas, but it's only for you. Just so you could like replay like Yorion in the command zone, do the Yorion Caracas thing you can do in Legacy. I did not know about Sanctum of Eternity. This is an untapped land. Taps for colorless, pay 2, tap, return a commander you own from the battlefield to your hand. With a powerful ETB on your commander like this one does, awesome. Exactly. Is it the best thing in the world that you can do? No. But is it nice to have access to? Absolutely. Especially since we gotta fill out our land types for Field of the Dead anyways. So, alright, we're at 43 lands. So, we're gonna trim down an Exotic Orchard. We're gonna trim down on Arena of Glory. We're gonna trim down on we'll pick the... We're going to cut about like 5 lands. 47 with MDFC. Right, which change a Pinnacle Monk. Let's also do is MDFC type land. Don't want a Mirror's Call. Don't care about pathways. Jabari's Description's bad. This is good, but we're not going to play it here. Legion's Leadership is meh. Onto Inversion is in every white deck I own for a reason. Sullen Division is not what we're looking for. Sync is good. Sun Eruption is good if we're more about attacking, but we're more about winning the game with combo. Falcon's good. Okay, that's all the ones we want to play. Just the one we're missing. Wow, 154 cards. You know what? This deck has a lot of cool shit. What if we just made Yorion Companion? I know technically that's not legal in Commander, but who gives a fuck? It's Commander. So it would be connects a minimum of 20 cards more, so we only have to cut 30 cards now. Wow. I cut 30 cards. That's insane. Alright, so let's start trimming down. So, what do we want to make sure we're maintaining? Spellseeker, where can you go grab? Instance with mana 2 or less. You can go grab... It is only instant, right? Oh, it is a sorcery. So you can go grab Faithless Looting, Molten Duplication, Twin Flame, Cloud Shift Ephemerate, Essence Flux, Hide on the Ceiling, Swords to Plowshares, Arcane Denial, Cyclonic Rift, Disorder in the Court, Faithful Mending. Whew! We are not cutting that card. She goes to get Ephemerate, then you Ephemerate her to go grab Disorder in the Court, and then you Disorder in the Court all your other ETB creatures. Yeah, Hide on the Ceiling is gas. People just don't know about this card yet. They just aren't playing it. Same with Another Round. This card is so good. 3 mana, exile your board, they'll come back is really good. But then if you just like, I don't know, pump 4 into it. Okay, cool. Blink, 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 blink. I win. Very, very cool. I think we're doing less token stuff so we can drop Junk Winder. I think we're doing less Saga stuff. I put this in here because I was looking at cool cards, but we gotta make that one. Let's see. Oh, token doublers don't work with Shiko. You're not creating the token with Shiko. You are casting it, and it becomes the token, so you don't double it with Mondrak and Exalted Sunborn. So that actually is those are bad includes. This Elder Storm is cool. Not what we're doing. Facebreaker's a good card. Not what we're doing. Interrupter is great. Ashwa is great. Conqueror is good. So the ETB we're building around is our commander, right? So I'm not too worried about cutting down some of these ETBs. Yeah, Moonblast Killer can go find any of our enchantments. It's another recruiter, right? We have a lot of very strong Agent of the Battlefield effects, so I'm not too caught up about losing a few of them. Okay. We gotta cut 15 more cards. No, 25 more cards. Jesus. Alright. Conjurer's Closet's a little slow. It's 5 mana. Heaven Sent is not what we're really doing. Some of the stuff we looked into doing before we really got a sense of our deck. Okay, let's cut a few of our dual color MFC. With 48 lands, that's way too many. Cactus Preserve can go. We can cut some of the off-color fetches. Bloodstained Mire. Marsh Flats. Misty. Polluted Delta. Windswept, Verdant, Wooded. It's just a 40 with MDFC, which is the number I'm looking for. 33 normal lands or 40 with MDFC. Perfect. Gotta cut 10 more cards. We did not create tokens, we copy things, so that does not actually draw as many cards as I would like. Staff of the Storyteller. Enters it whenever you create one or more tokens. Creature tokens specifically. Okay, it's not what we're looking for. Joshua digs really well. Tursa digs really well as well. We'll drop a Tursa. Just got the extra utility going on. Mathasa. Do do and do 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 and do do. We can drop a Ghostway. We have all these token creatures. We don't want to be blinking. We can drop. Man, busy night for police trucks and stuff, right? We don't live that close to the hospital. Do we need the discard outlet from Ghostly Pilferer? I don't think we do. Oh, Dowerport Mage. That one's a very good one. Whenever one of our creatures you control leaves after that dying, draw a card. And then also 2 mana pick up your commander. Yeah, we'll drop Knight of the White Orchid to fit that one here. Okay. Doing Courage is really nice with all the haste we have going on here. All these creatures can get plus 2/+0 and gain haste, but is that even what we're really doing? Not really, is it? Yeah, no. Again, we're not trying to attack you to kill you. We're trying to kill you. We have this infinite mana combo as well. Paragon, Drake, Deadly. Did I navigate her? 4 more cards. I think we're going to lock in this entire area. All the cards that are left up here I like a lot. If we're going for sheer power, you could probably cut down on Astral Dragon, Meringue River Regent, maybe the Charismatic Conqueror. These are all cards I like a lot. I'm going to lock this in, as well as Teferi Eternal Wanderer. I have a playset of signed Eternal Wanderers from Alex Brandwin. I would like to play them all. So I think I still have one that's not in the deck, so we're going to put this one here. Then Twin Flame, Ultimate Duplication, Fatal Sleep. Another round, Stufflification. Yeah, sorceries look pretty good as well, so we're gonna lock those in. Let's come down to enchantments. These are already all logged into, right? We could drop a Trouble in Pairs. We're doing already a lot of non-board impacting card draw effects, so we don't really need that one. We have Mystic Study in our deck. Obviously, play more Drawdens. I think, honestly, Roiling Dragonstorm will draw me more cards and do more things for me than Mystic Study would, without the times of blinking your commander. Could trim on the Hourglass of the Lost. Actually, I'd rather trim on... No, I don't want to trim on either of those cards. Oh, here we go. Breathless Trundle Grinder can go. It's a good one, but not quite what we need. Then, in the instant section, we can hit SWAT and... Oh, Ghostly Flicker. No. Displace is another ghostly flicker effect. Go for one of our lower impact ones. Essence Flux. Actually, I'm gonna cut Cloud Shift here. I'd rather be able to have more access to mana. If in some weird world we have Spellseeker, but we don't have access to white mana, I want to still be able to get the blue, because we had the blue to cast Spellseeker. That's the very niche reasoning. And we are going to lock this in at 120. 120 is 20 more cards and no more lands. Actually a little tough. I do think we'll cut 2 more cards to get 2 more lands back in here. And then we'll call this a deck build complete. We'll move on to our next one. So, what are the worst 2 cards we're still playing? We're playing those fun ones, but those are locked in. Parting Gust. I think it's Momentary Blink. The 4-mana Flashback. It's 2 blinks for 1 card. It's 2 blinks for 1 card. It's part of our Spellseeker package. That's cutting both a land and a spell. That's the opposite of what we want right now. I mean, the answer could be Force of Will. Or a 3-color deck. Yeah, we'll cut Force. We can also cut one of these. They're only really good when we're comboing. When we have a Displacer Kitten going. But, like, they're also mana. Does Max Jasper ever legendary creatures and planeswalkers? Okay, so we'll cut the Jasper, and I'll explain why real quick. So, we're playing this only to combo with Displacer Kitten and Teferi. The Jasper requires us to keep our commander in play, so that makes the commander count as another piece of the combo when we're doing the thing that they could disrupt with. I mean, they can't disrupt when Teferi's on the table, but you know what I mean. They could, like, in response to the Teferi, shoot the commander or whatever. It's very, very minor things. I could see cutting other stuff to get those in there, but I would like to play the fun cards in my bracket 4 deck. That's the difference between 4 and 5, guys. If this was CEDH, I couldn't get away with half the shit I'm doing in this deck. Like Field of the Dead? No one plays in CEDH. Oh, I didn't even put my Trudels in here. That's really funny, actually. So for those of you who do not know, I treat the common dual lands from Dominator United as just straight the true duels. Because they are the true duels. I take a Sharpie, and I remove the enters tap part. And then they're the true duels. Just with different names. And instead of costing $500 a piece, 14 cents, 36 cents, and 18 cents. And they come in foil, too. Which the normal dual lands don't come in foil. Crap. One more card's gotta go. Alright, let's go look at the lands. 43, including MDFC. We can bin something else. What's our color breakdown look like? 18% red. 47% white, 36% blue. Can you tell I don't play red very often? Do we cut the... We could cut the red-based... The red snow-covered land? No, we'll cut the red normal mountain. We'll keep the snow-covered one. But see, in that case, we don't get to play the really pretty Dominator United basic. We have to play the stinky snow-covered land. What is that stinky snow-covered mountain? Sacred Peaks. There it is. Awesome. 42 lands, 120 cards, because we have a Yorion Companion. Oi. Alright, that's the deck. We're locking in on this one. Whoop. Should have been over here this whole time. It's okay. You know, very minor things. Yes, so this is Shiko, Paragon of the Ways. This is our all-in combo deck. So let's see here. Commander combos. Isn't there like a website you can plug your commander in? Decklist combo finder, yes. So we're gonna do export, copy, paste this deck list here. Okay, so let's take a look at the combos we found here. So we're looking at Dualcaster Mage plus another round for infinite blinks. Dualcaster Mage plus Twin Flame for infinite creatures that kill the table. Dualcaster Mage with multiple duplication for infinite creatures that kill the table. Displace Pinnacle Monk Paragon Drake makes more mana than it costs to do the thing. Ghostly Flicker, Paragon Drake, Pinnacle Monk. There's going to be a fair number of these. Starfall Invocation was Dualcaster Mage. I guess that does... Oh, wait, does this make me... It does. When Dualcaster Mage is battlefield, it triggers copying Starfall Invocation. Resolve Starfall Invocation comes into the draw card and destroy all creatures with trigger. Wow! Starfall Invocation was Dualcaster Mage wins the game. That's not often that you have your Wraths as win cons in your deck. That's awesome. Huh. And just copy of Felidar Guardian with haste. When it enters battlefield, triggers blinking Felidar Guardian with Felidar into Curse Mirror. Repeat from step 2. Huh. Yeah, Ethernet ETB, LTB. Yeah, this is just infinite protection. Yeah, infinite blinking of any creature we control. Yeah, Dualcaster Mage combos with a ham sandwich if you didn't know. Oh yeah, Astral Dragon was Curse Mirrors, infinite creature tokens with haste. Yeah, look at this. I mean, this deck is a combo machine. We're missing Donnie and April for that one. We're missing Master Wizard. Enter battlefield for the copy target instance, but you control. We choose new targets for the copy. Oh, Naramacha is another one we can do. Heat Shimmer, huh? Oh, I do want... Yeah, I do actually want those cards. Okay. Devastating Onslaught is another really cool one. Put Devastating Onslaught in here. Okay, so let's take a look at our recruiter package before we call this deck 100% locked in. Now that I'm thinking about these combo lines. So, Recruiter can go find creatures with power 2 or less. So Recruiter can find this, that, obviously that, not that, that. Recruiter can find a land, just keep that in mind. Not that, not that, the other Recruiter. Skyclave, Soul Herder, Spellseeker, Chaomancer, Displacer Kitten, Felidar Guardian. Okay, we're not cutting this from the deck. And then Recruiter of the Guard can go find pretty much everything we just looked at, but in addition to that, it can go find Moonblessed Cleric, still a Chaomancer. Can't find the Felidar Guardian. It can find Solitude, though, which is really nice. You can also find Pinnacle Monk. The Recruiters in this deck can go find 3 lands. 1 blue, 1 red, 1 white. That's awesome. That's so cool. I love MDFCs. Classical Mimic entering easily 0/0 in the library, so it can be Recruiter, Pre-Recruiter, or Recruiter of the Guard can go find it. Same with Pinnacle Monk. It's 2/2, so either Recruiter can go find it. And then Witch Enchanter is also 2/2, so either Recruiter can go find it. Gosh, that's so cool. Magic is the best game in the world. Gosh, that's crazy. Are you kidding me? Did Navigator didn't come up on any of the combos? Did I not do this correct? No, but this combo's the way I want it to. For those of you who don't know how Soulbound works, whenever a creature enters, you get to choose who it's paired with again. So, you can pair this to the commander for most of the game, and then when you find your Paragon Drake, you go boop, 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 blink, blink, blink. Very strong, very strong. And plus Paragon Drake being a 2/3, Recruiter, improve the Imperial variety, can go find it. Gosh, look at this. Imperial Recruiter, $11. Recruiter of the Guard, $5. What a beautiful time to be building packages. $12 for Spellseeker. Like, sub 50 for these cards is not okay. Like, these cards deserve to be more expensive, but they're not, and so get them while they're cheap. Okay. Did I want to do Electro Duplicate, I believe? Let's go to set FDN is new. First printing. I love foundations. So many bread and butter cards in here. It's just great. Yeah, Sandra Flame Shaper. It's another card to go infinite with Felidar Guardian. We'll put that in there for sure. It also does all of our blinking stuff. And then Electro Duplicate. Yeah. Alright, gotta go find 3 more cuts. This is why Commander decks that I when you have no restriction, I have so much time to just tinker and tweak. So, wait, that's awesome. Let's see here. I think I'm not going to add Electro Duplicate. It's nice to have another copy your creature spell, but Devastating Onslaught does that. It's 3 mana, you still get the 1 token. So, that's why this card's so good, and it's a Spellseeker target. As I've been mentioning, Spellseeker, the packages for tutoring, this deck's going to be awesome. Holy crap. This is going to be so strong and consistent. If you know my favorite deck, it's Tilda Lier, which is Bant. And that's a deck that does a lot of Spellseeker Recruiter the guard stuff. So these cards make me feel things. What's gotta go? I can't get over Starfall Invocation going infinite with winning you the game with Dualcaster Mage. That's so crazy. Anybody got a Wrath? Yeah, I got a Wrath. Here's my Wrath. Whoop whoop. I win. Draw your decks, please. I mean, draw your deck infinite is pretty. Is not the best when you have counterspell players at the table. But the fail state is you just wrath the board, right? Theoretically. So, probably wouldn't be, obviously, be a CDH combo. It's a 5 mana sorcery that combos with Dualcaster Mage, but, you know. Okay. That's going to be the last one. Those are the last cuts. So, I want to talk a little bit while we're here about brackets and the idea behind them, right? It is what we are. It's all about what you want to do with a deck when you're coming into it, more so than it is like. Brackets are all about intention. I could take this deck, cut all the game changers from it, and claim it's bracket 2, right? And also, I can leave all the game changers in and lie. It's a social contract, is what this bracket system is, and it's trying to help people speed up that Rule Zero conversation, which is a great, in my opinion, a great way of dealing with it. This deck is technically not Commander legal, right? I have a companion. I have 20 cards more than the main deck. I have a Yorion companion. But this is a game about having fun, right? If I wanted to make the most broken possible Shiko deck, I would fill this up with more fast mana. I would fill this up with more counter magic, more card draw. I don't have Mystic Remora in here. I don't have a lot of the stuff, but I still have a huge amount of game changers. I have 8 game changers in here, which is to say I have 8 super highly powerful cards. the difference between 4 and 5, that a lot of people don't understand, is on the conceptual level, no restrictions is what both of them are saying. So why are they different brackets? It's metagame, right? I am playing this into a pool of people doing similar levels of piles of crap, whereas if I put this to a CEDH table, I would get trounced. I could win some games, sure. I have a buddy who's got a Zatulpa combo deck that's won some games with CEDH players, but there's a lot of suboptimal choices in here that I made for fun, which is what Commander's about, right? I'm playing Meringue River Regent because it's a big, cool dragon, and I care about it from the standard. So, yeah, this deck is going to be fantastic. I'm so excited to proxy this thing up and just bring it to the next Commander night and just kill everyone. It's going to be awesome. Yeah. I have not done a Yorion deck in Commander before, so I don't know if the 42 lands is enough. Might be a little low, especially since a lot of our MDFCs are pretty high value cards. If you're ever going to miss a land drop, play the MDFC as a land. I don't care which one it is. You need to play it. I don't care if you need one more land to catch Seagate Restoration and you have 7 other cards in hand. Play that land. I don't care if it is Glasspool Mimic and you have the combo in 2 turns. If you can just find 2 more lands, play that dang land. Believe me, hitting your land drop every turn is the best feeling in Commander. That's what blue does that green doesn't inherently get to do. Green ramps, sure, but they don't as consistently fill their hand up with lands and play them unless they built your deck correctly. So, alright, that is the first deck list done. I'll pop the link to this deck in chat if you want to take a look. It is on our Mox field, which is publicly available. So take a look at this one here, chat, as we pop this one in. You can see on Twitch and on YouTube. We've popped in the little Mox field links here. This deck's going to be sweet. So excited. Alright. So the next thing is we have some viewer submitted decks to go to. So let me go let the guy know that I'm taking a look at his decks before I get into it. Alright, Gabe. At Gabe. So, Gabe is one of our local game store friends from Boar's Hat Gaming here in Elgin. Shout out to that store. Love the people there. They have an online website if you want to get some cards. Stan, the owner of Boar's Hat, is very good about shipping them exactly on time and never forgetting, so please do. He's got a whole army of people now. So he has been having some issues where he had a few decks he wanted us to take a look at for him. He's doing this side thing where he's trying to take these decks and also kind of make a cube out of it. He didn't explain that part to me very well. Maybe he could explain it better in person. But I figured I could take a look at some decks, do some tweaks for them, and see what we can do. So since we're already in that bracket for Mind Space from Shiko, it's perfect because that's what he's aiming for with these decks. So let's see what he had to say. So the 3 decks we're looking at today are Clavileño, Marchesa, and Iriette of the Charmed Apple. Specifically, Marchesa, Dealer of Death. He says, Clavileño is already a lot of fun and the most upgraded of the 3, but I think it might be a bit too broad in some of my card choices. So let's take a look real quick. So for those of you who don't remember Clavileño, First of the Blessed, this is one of the all-timer precons that came out with Lost Caverns of Ixalan. Whenever you attack, a target attacking vampire that is not a demon becomes a demon, and gains, when this creature dies, draw a card and make a tapped 4/3 demon with flying. So this is just a white-black vampires deck that's going to be just going wide, attacking, turning them all demons, and then later in the game, the wrath happens, and I have 5 4/3s. What are you going to do about it? Very cool card. Let's see. Kaya Geist Hunter. That's the -2 double tokens for a turn. Sorin gives you the permanent emblems and pluses to make vampires. Belgian Aristocrat, Master of Dark Rites. We'll talk about that card later. Bartolome. Viscera Seer, Blood Artist, Bloodghast, Conqueror, Cordial Vampire, Cruel Celebrant, Dusk Legion Sergeant. This card's a house. Dusk Legion Zealot, Legion Lieutenant, Lotho. Love that include. Martyr of Dusk. That one I'm not as sold on. I think that one came in the deck, though. Yeah, it did. Marvin Fane. Drana. Delny. Like that one a lot. Vampire Gourmand. Doing Vampire obviously is a great card. Tide the Drinker. Oh, I love Extort. Oh, Sworn Vampire, Vampire Nighthawk. Oh, come on, man. Andrak, Glory Dominus, Redemption Choir, Roaming Throne, Osier Talk, Crossway, Troublemakers. You guys know this card's in Foundations? This card's legal and standard right now. Why? Bloodthirsty Conqueror. Speaking of cards from Foundations, this card is a house. Oh my god, this card's so good. Twilight Prophet, Taser Karlov, Sanctum Seeker. Damn New Blood, Promise of Loyalty. Interesting Promise of Loyalty was the Wrath you went with. Was this in here? Take a look. Does this come with this deck? No, he added Promise of Loyalty. Interesting. One of the big things I like to push for is one-sided Wraths. If you want to make your deck better, put a one-sided board wipe in it. And every strategy has 4, 5, 6 of them. And Everything Comes to Dust is a perfect example. Exile all creatures, except those that share a creature type with a creature spell that can invoke this spell. All artifacts and all enchantments. So, very good choice here. Oh, Dino DNA, finally! This is one of my favorite graveyard hate cards in Commander. It's so good. Skull Clamp, Soul Ring, Orzhov Signet, Swift Boot. Okay, we're low on ramp again. We're at 37 lands, which is where I'd want to be. Like that include? Waiting Destiny, Anointed Procession, Vision Landing, Call of the Ring. Okay. Everybody lives! See, you can sometimes tell when decks were put together by people by what's the new hotness at the time that everyone's forgotten about since then. Everybody Lives is one of those examples. All creatures gain hexproof and indestructible. Players gain hexproof until end of turn. Players cannot lose life this turn, and players cannot lose the game or win the game this turn. This card is awesome, and everyone forgot about it because, who cares? It's a very good fog. I gotta remember to put that in decks again. Okay, I'm seeing some stuff I want to tweak immediately, especially if you expect this to be on bracket 4. There's a Fielded in here. This is looking like the bracket 3 deck. So we'll make 2 versions for you real quick. A bracket 4. We'll make a bracket 4 like you asked for, and I'll take a look at 3, and you can figure out which one you like more. All right, so Marchesa. This is Dealer of Death, blue, black, red for a 3/4. When you commit a crime, you pay 1. If you do, look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, and the other into your graveyard. This is a phenomenal card advantage piece in the command zone. Committing a crime is trivially easy. There's many ways to do it for 0 mana. I'm already not seeing a few of them here in the creature slots, so I know what we're gonna do to upgrade this one quickly. There's a lot of. I remember this one being a bit of a mess when I looked at it. And 38 lands, which is nice. And he went up the land count on me. He is playing 2 Shivan Reefs, so can't be doing that. He said, Marchesa, I intentionally made lower power and on a budget initially. I wanted every instance of electrolyzed type effects as well as outlaw legends for Thunder Junction flavor. It'd be cool if I could loop/copy spells, and I enjoy Arcane Bombardment and similar high power enchantments, but I think I might have went too low impact on instants and sorceries overall because I didn't want the deck to be too strong, but now I'm fine if it does get stronger. Well, we just talked about the power inherent with Spellseeker packages, and we will be happily put one of them in here. This is the perfect home for it, too. I also think I can leave several of these Outlaw Legends in here. Some of them can go, like Gev. Actually, I don't mind. We'll see if we can leave Gev in here, but some of these will go, right? But, yeah. We'll cut some number of these, and the rest will come in. And then the final one is Iriet of the Charmed Apple. This is 1 white-black for a 2/4. Each creature that's enchanted by an aura you control cannot attack you or planeswalkers you control. Beginning of your end step, each opponent loses X life, and you gain X life for X is the number of auras you control. And he says, lastly, Iriet just sucks. I wanted to avoid making it pure stacks type enchantment matters cringe, so I thought it'd be cool to make like a reverse Voltron and use my auras to help my pod mates and effectively goad their best creatures at the same time. The problem is that it's a super fragile strategy and is never a win con in practice. Besides that, the lack of card draw, mana ramp, and mid-range slash late game resource generation really makes it feel like a chore to play. Well, there are certainly some ways around that. I think having a sub-theme of actually goading your opponent's creatures and putting auras on stuff that you don't control is actually pretty good. You don't have to go stacks with this. You can go Enchantress Control, which is quite nice. You have the inherent life gain, which helps insulate versus the aggro you draw by having a more controlling stance, which is very nice. See, like you can tell he bought all the Kamigawa secret layers because they're all in his decks. It's really funny. Yeah, this one needs some work for sure. Like I agree, you need definitely more mana acceleration. And certain cards, I don't get why they're here. Each other non-aura enchantment is a creature. There's just other types of probably like cool. I would like my enchantments to not die to wraths though, right? Huh. And yeah, and then we have only 31 lands. So if you're wondering why you're white decks, oh he has a Sarah Sanctum. Dope. That's nice. So what is my plan for this? We're gonna take Iriette and make it a nice solid bracket 3. We'll take Clavelino, and we're going to upgrade it further in the direction of bracket 4, do a 3 and a 4 for you, and we'll do a hard 4 Marchesa control, just get people dead, keep the board under your power, right? So, another thing that he mentioned to me is he's intending to make this cube thing, like I mentioned briefly. So any cards that are in any of his decks are good to go. He wants to try and keep the upgrades on the cheaper side. Well, I can do that for sure. He also wanted some cool cards to use for this cube thing. So we can do that for sure. I don't know if Gabe is tuned in yet. Looks like Gabe and Stan both reacted to the image, so maybe they are in here. If you guys are here, let me know in chat real quick. Because as I go and change what we're doing. Oh. Little behind the scenes. There we go. Okay. Oh, that's Gabe. Perfect. Alright, Gabe. Well, we're going to start with Iriette here. This one, I think, is the furthest from being ready to go. Iriette. Control, I guess, would be what I would say. Oh, Kai, you're also here. Great. That is our podcast co-host. All right. So, let's see. Iriette control. All right. Let's first go through here and try and identify cards that we like and the ones that we don't like and move them over to considering. So, pay 1, sack it, target creature or enchantment control gets protection from the choice of your choice on a turn. Okay, so a couple things I want to note. Our commander cares specifically about auras. Nothing in here is actually saying we need to play normal enchantments. I like Sarah Paragon. I like Mesa enchantments. Like, I like enchantresses in here. Yeah, Lifeball's good. Aura spells cost 1 less to cast. See, that's the kind of perfect thing for this. You enchant their creatures, and then other people block it, kill it, and then you draw a bunch of cards. Great. Perfect. Yeah, I think this one's a little slow. I don't like the Alcide. I'm not a big fan of Spellbook Commander and Commander either. I like it a lot more in all-in aggro aura decks. Okay. We have a lot of cost reducers for auras and enchantments in here, which is nice. Definitely remember that one for sure. Control enchantment cards from graveyard to the battlefield. Love of Resurgent Relief. Open the Armory. A Deluge Tutor. Turn each aura card from graveyard to play. Great. What's your command? Good. Lightning Tutor, Malachite Rebirth, Path Exile, Swords Splashes, Fracture. Okay. So Soul Ring, Arcane Signet, or Orzhov Signet Talisman is what he went for here. We need more mana ramp. We're going to do Mind Stone. We're going to do Land Tax. Oh, it's already in here. Good. We have Land Tax. We have Mind Stone. We can do... what is that one called? No, that wouldn't be good here. What about... If you want a good card for the cube, the Soul Stone's really good, but it's $75, so like you don't have to get the Soul Stone. You could very easily just play like a Charcoal Diamond here. What is the... It's like Interplanar Lens, I think. It is from Jumpstart. Is Jumpstart 22 JM2? I actually don't remember. It's an artifact, and it is first printing. What was this one? Planar Atlas. I really like this one. So, 2-mana artifact, enters tapped. When its artifact enters, you may look at the top 4 cards of your library. If you do, reveal up to 1 land card from among them. Put that card on top, put the rest of them out in a random order. So, this is just a 2-mana rock, enters tapped, like Charcoal Diamond and all the others. But, if you manage to be like, hey, I just need more lands. Look at top 4, get a land, put it on top, draw a land next turn. So, super nice one there. And then, let's go for the Hourglass for this one too. Hourglass of the Lost is a really cool white one. In the 3-mana rock space. And that brings it up to 7. And then we can do Solemn Simulacrum. It's still worth playing, believe me, it is. Open the Armory, Delector, Tether. Okay. Redemption Arc. Yes, you're not playing this card. Yes, this is one of my... I love this one. So this is a 3-mana enchant creature. It's indestructible and is goaded, and you can pay 2 and exile their creature. Let's see. So let's go look at your auras, right? Oh yeah, let's actually move up the land counter real quick too. So Field of Dead's in another deck of yours. Yeah, with Great Power is good here. Yeah, with Great Power is a very good one. Because eventually, so how I imagine you're going to play this deck is you're going to be doing auras on about 60-40 your stuff, their stuff, right? So, like, when you enchant your own things, it's like you're turning the corner to win the game. It's like how our control deck would keep control of the board and then play their finisher. You're going to make everyone fight each other, and then play your own aura, kill the table. Like, play your big creature, like Eidolon Countless Battles. Or your, what's that one called? Ethereal Armor. Yep, I like this one. So, you need some of the card draw for life gain stuff. Also, what's Opalescence doing in here, Gabe? What are you playing Opalescence for? Other than yeah, Love a Glass of Grace. Yeah, love Spirit Link and Vampiric Link. Because that's the through line I think that it would tie this whole deck together is the life gain package. So, when you gain life. Your devotion will be really high because all your auras count for the devotion. So that one's a good one. You want a Shieldred from Standard? Well, I'm not putting her in here. I like Authority of the Consuls, slow them down. I'm gonna put Veto in here. Let's see. I definitely need to modify my search a little bit here. Yeah, there's the other Enduring Tenacity. When you gain life, target opponent loses that much life. Okay, so what were the life gain payoffs in white black? Photo triggers in the combat step is an end step trigger. You have a Luris, which is nice for these auras. I like that one a lot. I think this deck also uses Sun Titan. Believe me, it is genuinely a good card. I know it's a meme because it's in all the precons, but sometimes phenomenal. What else do we got here? There's the... Let's go check the EDH rec page. This is a weird commander. So... Yeah, Alien Symbiosis is a good one. Yeah. All the glitter should already be in here, though, right, Kai? Did I miss it? Is it not in here? I think I saw the full art all the glitters earlier. Yeah, there it is. The same one that we had in Pauper. Yeah, Killian Inktool is good, especially if you cast a target a creature costs 2 less to cast. Like Darksteel Mutation. We'll go through and add all the goat auras in a bit. You should have most of these in here already. Yeah, Minions Return's a good one. Archon is really good. Pearl Ear's a new one that you don't have in here yet, I know. Undo Spirit Dancer will just get this board under your control immediately. Yeah, this is another piece of the life gain, life loss stuff. Lotho is good in every deck that's white and black, especially if you want mana generation. Does your commander have low enough power for Delny to trigger? It does. God, I love Delny. This card does everything. Well of Lost Dreams. I don't think we're getting enough life that Aetherflux Reservoir was worth playing. I don't think you're going to get to above 50. If you get to 50, it's going to be like, oh wow, I can't believe it. Yeah, Nurgle's Rot's another good one. That card's on the new reserve list. Yeah, Sphere of Safety. Ghostly. We'll hold off on Ghostly Prison, but we'll do Sphere of Safety. I have Nidhogg's a more recent good one. That's a goad one. Griever's Wound is great. Just kill one player immediately. We'll go into Mental Agents in a little bit. Now there's a little Spirit Loop here. I think I already saw Hall in there. Yeah, let's click on the life gain sub theme. See what they can show us. I don't know why I'm blanking on life gain payoffs right now. This is a Nambo in your deck. Don't play the Styrian. Okay. We'll come back to this one in a second. Actually, real quick, let me... Oh, well, I lost my copies. Great, can I go through again? Go grab all the ones I just grabbed. Is this still on life gain? Yeah. Okay, sorry about this. Gotta go through it again. Go faster this time. Bullish impetus. Means return. Oh no, there it is. Put those straight into the deck. Did I get Lotho? Yeah, okay, good. We did all those changes. Advanced search. When you gain life, draw a card. Oh, Biza. There's a fair number of life game payoffs, like Elbow streams, but all the ones I'm thinking of right now are stuff that is in my Hobbit deck, and they're all green for some reason. There's Halia, that's a good one. Okay. That's a 4-mana one that I don't like very much. Okay, we'll pause on this for now. Okay, let's go trim some cards out of here, and then we can go grab some more auras. Come back to this later. Sergeant Belief, opening armory to your retether us to your command. And then there's also the Wrath that destroys all non-enchanted creatures. Winds of Wrath, I believe. Yes. Destroy all creatures that are not enchanted. So you Wrath everything but what you've goaded. So once again, our little one-sided board wipe technology, right? Tutor Path Exile, Source Plushes, Fracture. We fixed your ramp issue. We added a few extras. We're at 32 lands. I wanted to get a few more of those in here. Like randomly 2 snow-covered plains and the 11 normal plains. I mean, it's nice to know that you have it, right? So. Bleachbone Verge, right? Surveil land. So Basilica, Hall of Heliod's, 36 MFC, MDFC, type land. These ones are heat. That one's not really what we're looking for. Love a Bogart Trawler. Love a Felder Profane and a Haggard Mauling. Love an Ondu Inversion. Love a Witch Enchanter. Looks like we already had a Nurgle's Rot in here, so that's good. Looks like we already had a Dark Sea Mutation here. That's good as well. Looks like we already had Sphere of Safety. Okay. So we got you up to 41. You can trim on the basic count a little bit. 38 with MDFC. Let's go back up one more. We can do Minas Tirith. We can do Iganjo, Seat of the Empire. Takanuma. We can go for Fabled Passage. Urza's Cave. Gabe, do you have Cabal Coffers and Urborg anywhere? It's an expensive include, but you have Sarah's Sanctum, Hall of Heroes, Generosity, or Field of the Dead that are all really good lands to go grab. So I figured we could put a little bit of the go get your land stuff in here. Alright, let's trim on some of these bad auras. Authority's good. We don't really care about that one. The other one's good. Last one was one camp block. Beginning of your upkeep, you lose 1 life. Yeah, I like that one. Yep. Yep. When a creature dies, Nurgle's Rot from your graveyard. Choose our hand, maybe 1/3. Great. Ah, that's the reason for the random snowlands. You playing on thin ice. I have Urborg from Pioneer, no Cabal Coffers. What is Cabal Coffers at right now? Yeah, Cabal Coffers is the cheap one. Urborg is like $50. So I think Coffers would be worth playing here, since you already have an Urborg from Pioneer. Because this is some of that long game plan we were talking about, where I'm adding in that's why I really like Field of the Dead here, because it gives you just this inevitability factor. Oh yeah, white border Cabal Coffers is $50, so perfect. Extra tilt people, right? And then we're at 43, so we'll drop another swamp. 8, 9, 10. We'll actually drop a plains and pick the swamp back up. We'll check the counts later, and then 42 including MDFC, so we'll drop 1 of each. 40 with MDFC is about what I usually shoot for, so 33 and then 40. Alright. On Thin Ice, Sentinel's Eyes. The escape means you can replay it right after the creature's gone. Sherman's Rescue is a protection spell. Shielding Gift gives flying, draws a card. Player from the chosen color does not affect auras or equipment you control that are already attached to it. That's a cool one. Land Obedience, Chime of Night. When Chime of Night is put into a graveyard from play, destroy a target non-black creature. Oh, cool. So you enchant their thing, and then when the creature dies, you blow something else up. That's cool. Turn the commander off. Enchant creature to opponent controls. When it dies, except target loses power from top of its owner's library. Cast nothing cards, mark them for launch, exile. Cool. Very cool. Whenever, as long as the player controls a enchant creature, it can attack block. Otherwise, it has Umbra Armor. Cool. Lord Skitter's Blessing. Draw a card if you end step. Classification. Draw a card. Those enchant permanent is a creature, it has Death Touch. Enchant permanent is an equipment, it has equipped creature, has Death Touch. Wow. So it's one of those runes. Interesting. Spirit Loop. Deals damage to much life. Tenuous Truce. Yeah. You guys draw. Creatures put into a graveyard, draw 3 cards. Choose to discard one of those cards. Okay. A creature you control other than enchanted creature gets +2/+2 against vigilance. +2/+2 has vigilance. That one's bad, but I can go. This one's great. So it's enchanted creature is a black dragon when base power on top is 4/2, has flying and death touch, and is goaded. When it's put in the graveyard to the battlefield, put it back in your hand. So just make a little 4/2 and make your opponents hit each other with it. It's great. Ghostly Prison, Ghoulish Impetus, Gives of Immortality, Grasp of Fate, Martial Impetus, Minions Return, Out of Time, Parasitic Impetus, Phyrexian Arena, Redemption Arc. Here's another newer one that does this too. I want to go look at for. It's like let's see if I can find it. So it's return opponent creature graveyard battlefield goad. Yes, Immortal Obligation. It's 2 mana, return target creature card from opponent's graveyard to the battlefield under their control with a duty counter on it. For as long as it has a duty counter, it is goaded, can't attack your opponent you control, and cannot block creatures you control. So as long as it doesn't have a good static, this is just a creature that your opponents have to deal with forever. And it's an instant, so you can be like, alright, Frank attacks Stan, pop, okay cool, now Stan has a blocker, and then that creature attacks for you every turn. It's great. Okay, let's see. I know we have to trim some cards in a bit here. I load up first, then I trim down. Something else. So we were looking at our issues here, and this area just sucked. So we're trying to just increase the power. Let's see. What about the curses? There are 22 curses. Some of these curses are really, really tough to deal with. They're just super annoying. Like Curse of Exhaustion. There's also one that just turns off all their creature abilities. Yeah, there's Curse of Shallow Graves, and there's Curse of Disturbance, which just make zombies. Yeah, there's Overwhelming Splendor. I like Trespasser's Curse. We'll put that one in. That one's not as horrifically broken. Okay. Now we have a land count fixed. We have the ramp fixed. We have good interaction, right? Path Swords Fracture. Oh, right. Yeah, no, we needed Path Swords Fracture. Fell Hagra. Let's go for Anglisher Making. Now that we've eaten all of our veggies, we can start cutting down for fun. So we'll start with Resurgent Belief. Going. I'm a big believer in non-combo decks that card draw is always better than tutors, because you don't know what you need to draw sometimes in Commander games. So I might trim a few of the tutors out of the deck. I think we cut Veto and we leave Enduring Tenacity, because it's an enchantment and it's a little bit more sticky. Okay. Like these creatures. We still gotta cut 31 cards though, so we're probably gonna come back. Open the Armory, Ideally Tutor. Not the biggest. We have a good amount of card draw actually. Between we have we have Hateful Eidolon, we have Core Spirit Dancer, We have SRAMs. We have. Actually, now I'm saying this. Yeah, there's a Mesa Enchantress, Pearl Ear, Halia. Halia does not work with our commander's ability, so we actually don't gain life before it draws. That's unfortunate. So I'm something like a Merchant Enchanter, Grey Merchant, Unused Spirit Dancer, Sun Titan. Could maybe cut Grey Merchant. That's the one I'm looking at right now. Change Aura from play. These are all pretty good. We'll leave them how they are. Lightning Tutor is awesome. 1 mana, instant speed, do it at the start of the turn. Great. Okay, Rebirth, keep your commander alive. It's really important. This commander, if it goes away, all these creatures you enchanted are going to come kill you. Path Swords, Fracture. Obligation, Angles are making Fell Hagra. Not bad. Solving our Concealment Mindstone, or seeing a Talisman, Hourglass, Well of Lost Dreams. That's fine. Alright, we'll trim some stuff out of here. So Authority can go. Grievous Wound can go. Opalescence is gonna go. The worst part of every commander deck is having to trim creatures. Get some of these cost reducers out of here. I don't think your problem is going to be reducing the cost. I think the problem is going to be running out of cards. How is our Luris package looking? All of these, which is great. Cracking our Mindstone, recasting it. And then all of those, including some ones we want to recur. Great. Yeah, Luris is looking good. Okay. Tether Winds, Austere, Undo. You could trim. I don't want to go too low on enchantments. We are at 44. Typically 30 is the number I'm looking for. We're a little high on creatures, but also like creatures are super important. So drop the Gary. I'm not the biggest fan of Out of Time. This draws you a card, but it gives you they're thinking Death Touch, and it really matters. It's fine. These are really nice. Mantle's really funny. So you enchant your own creature, and then all of the auras in your graveyard pop out and attach to it. It makes it huge. It's supposed to be Out of Time plus Opalescence. Oh, is that like what does that do? Opalescence makes it a creature, and then Out of Time phases everything out with the Out of Time, so they're just gone forever. Is that what that is? Yeah, I mean, I guess that's a thing you're allowed to do. I feel like this commander is kind of inherently weaker. I don't know why. Oh, I guess this is the pre-release foil. That's why it's $10. But I feel like Iriet does really good in the 99 of higher color auras decks. As you're just kind of seeing, we're kind of running into the strategy is inherently quote unquote weaker than the average deck would be. I don't hate the commander at all. I just think it should be bracket 3, where most of these stuff can go and live. We'll drop think we're not doing enough to kill their creatures, so I think we can drop the Chime of Night. It's cool, though. We have, with great power plus, Redemption Arc, if you want to go at your new combo, where they can't kill you. We also have Timely Ward if we're on a commander. That's fun. No more damage. You're fine. We're at 40 with MDFC. Okay. 41 enchantment still. I can just start cutting some of these out of here. Like, Minions Return is cool. There's another one that does it for 3 mana. This should go in when it dies. Return. Let's drop this one. It's just giving Death Touch. We're still gonna play Snowlands because of field. Actually, this is pretty medium. Cut some more of these creatures. I have more snows that are in Clevelinho, so that's fine. Okay, good. Yeah, I mean, like, I'm just doing it for the deck list purposes. If you wanted to play half and half snow and regular basics, that's fine. There's no real mechanical difference for how this deck functions. It's just I was doing it because it's cleaner on Moxfield. And it's just representing we're cutting down on a number of lands. I like the Capuchin because she's probably one of your best creatures to carry one of your auras when it's time to start killing people. But I need to cut some more of this stuff. I don't want to cut your draw. And like the other stuff is high impact. Like Undo Spirit Dancer and Sun Titan are huge for this deck. Dribbling for cards is always the hardest part, right? But it takes the longest. Adding cards is easy. Cutting cards is hard. Hmm. Okay, I think I'm getting into the loop where I'm just seeing the same thing over and over again. I'm going to leave this one for a bit. We'll come back and trim it down later. So, the next one I'm going to do here is Clavileño. This is a deck I'm a bit more familiar with. I had this one for a while myself. It's super, super fun. I like a lot of the choices you made with this one, and I don't think it has much issue. There's a few cool cards I want to include that you don't have in here, though. Clavileño. Tokens. Three. So we'll start with the bracket 3 stuff, and then we'll show you what it looks like at a 4. Or the other way around. 4 and then a 3. So, the first thing, maybe it's because you're traumatized from Pioneer, but Sorin Imperious Bloodlord isn't you're considering. Okay. Yeah, it should be in here. It's very good. Got a cool reprint. It's just show and tell for vampires. It's awesome. But also, like, sacking a vampire is something you want to do to make your 4/3 demon token. And then also, if you need life, you can do that, right? So it's not half bad. Pretty much all the Sorin Planeswalkers are good fits here. The flip Sorin is medium. Not my favorite here. I like him a lot more in decks that are more dedicated on life gain. Yeah, this sword I don't like very much here. Giving your whole team lifelink. That's not half bad. Well, that are considering. Yeah, definitely think I want a Sorin Imperious Bloodlord here, even if he's not putting the hugest Sorin like vampires into play. Master of Dark Rites is pretty good. Conqueror. Golf of Martyr of Dusk. We have some more includes we gotta include in the top end. Delete is great. Drawn is good. We're not playing Vampire Nighthawk. I'm sorry. There are so many good vampires. We don't need to play Vampire Nighthawk. So it looks like you cut the alt commander. What was her name? It was LCC, and then you cut Carmen. Carmen's great. Whenever she attacks, you return up to 1 2-drop to play. We were playing plenty of cheap creatures that you're trying to sacrifice for value. Like, she can return any of this, and if you sack anything, she gets huge, you gain life, and you then bring in more of these things back. So it's a win-win. I think we should upgrade Promise of Loyalty to a different Wrath. I like Village Rites, but this should just be Deadly Dispute. Artifact enchantment, a creature with power 4 or greater. Love Dino DNA. You're going to be seeing this one again in a few minutes when we go to Marchesa. Soul Ring, Signet, Boot, and then 37 lands. This is where you have fielded it as well, which is good. All the champions, territory, tainted field, fortress, Rose Passage, Clear Courtyard, Sanctum, Silent Clearing, Phyrexian Tower, good. We're gonna cut the Forlorn Flats for High Market. You have an off-color foil Old Border Fetch It here? Surely this is just chosen because that's what you think is cool. You're certainly not playing a foil retro frame Arid Mesa in this random commander deck. Call the Rings, good one. Huh. Surprised you put Call the Ring in here. I mean, it fits. Like, it's good. I also really like Fanatical Devotion here. Great news. You don't have to play Radiant Destiny anymore. They gave us Radiant Destiny but a Mana Rock. Aw, sweet. Thanks, Twitch. One moment. Let me go ban this guy trying to scam people in my chat. There's like no one in here. Great. There we go. I think it's like Banner of Kinship. Oh no, Banner of Kinship is a Foundations one. I always get these ones mixed up. It's Patchwork Banner? Yep, Patchwork Banner. And then let's also do look at some of these vampires. Yeah, Bloodletter of Aclazotz is so good. It is $25. So if you don't have one, Gabe, let me know. We'll put it in the sideboard for now. This should be in your deck, but I don't think it would go anywhere else. So let me know on that one. Bloodghast, Strana, Conqueror. Creeping Bloodsucker is great if you don't have this one yet. Look, it's Vampire Nighthawk, but it doesn't suck. This one is very meta dependent. If you're playing with people who have a lot of like activated abilities on creatures, this is great. Like if you're regularly fighting like Zatulpa or green decks with Mana Dorks, awesome. If you're not, don't play it. Yeah, I mean, I would put Vein Ripper in here. It's sure it's 6 mana, but it's also a 6/5 flyer that it's hard to kill. So we'll add to your main. Looks like you probably also had that one from Pioneer. Yeah, Edgar Charmgrim is also great. He's a Vampire Lord, and then you can make him a demon when he attacks, and then if he dies, you flip him. And at the beginning of your upkeep, make a 1/1 Vampire with lifelink. We'll encounter this, and after 3 turns, you flip back into the Lord. Great card. Okay, I think it's enough new vampires included. Let's also go for Unholy Annex. You're making demons. Every one of your vampires is going to be a demon, so your Annex is always going to gain your life. And so it's just a nice card to be able to reach for in your token deck. Dish. I have Bloodletter. Perfect. Welcome to the deck, Bloodletter of Aclazotz. Oh, whoops. What? That was the keyword for moving to main deck. Oh, there is no one. Great. Okay. Welcome to the main deck. Bloodletter of Aclazotz. It's a vampire demon. This will kill your opponents very, very quickly. Have you felt about Kaya Geist Hunter? Do you feel like this card does good for you? I played it once in Marty's Calgar. I didn't like it very much there. But it's just a 3 mana, like, double your tokens the turn it comes down. People usually kill this one as soon as possible. You are playing Mondrak and Ozurtok, though. Also, I think I saw, yeah, Anointed Procession as well. There is such a thing as too many token doublers. I don't know if we're quite there yet. but there is such a thing. Wasn't there a vampire-specific enchantment that was in this deck? I thought there was a vampire-specific enchantment that was really good that came in this thing. It's not martially canonized. This card is not good in this deck. This card seemed like it'd be good, but the stupid non-demon clause is so annoying. You're making your vampires into demons. You should be able to sacrifice them to this and then populate. That's the power of this. And then it doesn't do the thing. That's why I cut it from my copy of the deck. I guess I'm wrong. I thought there was oh, I'm thinking of the Knights deck. I was thinking about Sidar Jabari because I was looking at that one earlier. Yeah, honestly, I don't see much wrong with this deck. I like this deck a lot. I think maybe side grading some of this stuff. If we want to go for bracket 4, I think we maybe want to put a little bit more in the direction of the combo in here. I know we have Sanguine Bond, Exquisite Blood going, but we have the redundant Exquisite Bloods and the redundant Sanguine Bonds, so that's pretty nice. I would maybe add like some tutor packages to go find the cards, though it's a little tough. We do now have it's fully creature comboable, right? So you can go and find like Veto and find Bloodthirsty Conqueror, and then you can do the combo that way. But you have to be able to tutor for just a vampire, right? So I don't think we have just a specific vampire tutor. White doesn't have access to generic creature tutors, but we also have just like, we're black, we can play with the block tutor. I don't know what I'm talking about. Get Lost, Go for the Throat, Swords to Plowshares. Everybody Lives. We're leaving this in. I don't dislike this card. How's our ramp doing? Soul Ring, Signet, Patrick Banner, Legion's Landing. Interesting. You could go for a little bit more ramp. We have Lotho, which helps a lot too. Yeah, I mean, there's not much I would change here. This is really good, too, for this deck. Love Foundations once again. Swiftfoot Boots, Chrome as well. I would maybe stick a Teft Pro in here if you have one, but like that's pretty much it. Let's go trim on some of these bad vampires, so I have only good ones. We have 2 Wraths, Damn, and Everything Comes to Dust. Do we need any more? I think 2 is fine. We can put an Onduit version here, though. Everyone forgets about it. It's the best card people aren't playing in all their decks. Yes, I know, it's 8 mana. But when you need a Wrath, it's nice to just have an extra one. Oh, you're right. You do have extra snow-covered lands in Clavalenio. Because this is the deck that comes with Field of Dead, yeah. Great. Good. Nothing's jumping out at me as bad in here. Was it Basilica you made me think about changing out for a different land? Since you now have, theoretically, you're going to be getting Cabal Coffers, this would be a good deck for it as well. Yeah, honestly, if you wanted to take this from... This is a great bracket 3 deck with late game combo. The way you would have to take this to 4 would just be stuff it full of tutors, and then it's not as fun. So I'd say just leave this 1-3 and call it a day. Like, all you would do is just stuff it with fast mana and tutors, and then you're in 4. That's why I don't like bracket 4 very much. Because there's certain strategies you have to play in ways that are not as fun. Yeah, just so we can compare, since we have this one locked in. I like bounces in black decks for both lands. I like bounces in black decks. Do you mean like the bounce lands? I like bounce lands because they let you replay your MDFCs. It's not really something you're doing here. I guess it is something we could go and upgrade for you too, huh? Is MDFC. This is my biggest like commander like crack thing. Is just like you should have these cards in all of your decks. These MDFCs are so absurdly strong, and they just give you so much versatility to your deck. Even ones like Haggard Mauling. How often are you going to play 5 mana for this aura? Not very often. But you know what you will do? You will play a tapped 2-color land, which you would be doing anyways, because it's commander. And then the games where you draw this when you already have 10 lands in play, you'd be like, oh, cool, now my 7/7 vampire is going to get +2/+2 in lifelink, and fly over them and kill them. It's great. Or like, you draw your Haggard Mauling, and you would have died otherwise, but then you're able to kill their creature. Or this is a creature deck. Kabira Takedown kills pretty much anything for 2 mana. I'm not saying play all of the MDFCs. Some of them are bad, like Razorgrass Ambush. But they're lands. They're just lands. They're utility lands, but you're a deck with Fielded Head. It's all upside from there. You don't want to go too low on basics because you don't want to run out of your options for the land tutors. What's the color breakdown? Say 30% black? Yeah, that makes sense. This gets better the more of what I just added during the deck, so. We're gonna cut your random off-color Aaron Mesa. 2, 3, 3, 4, 5. One of these. We don't have like a land tax in here or something, do we? No? Okay. Yeah, so 30 lands, and then you really have 37, which is a fine number. Maybe make 1 or 2 more cuts to get some more lands in here. But you don't need a ton of ramp when your intention is to just play a creature every single turn and kill them. You're just gonna hit your land drops, draw cards, kill them. It's great. Yeah. This deck looks fun. I don't mind this one at all. So we can come up here and do the compare. So to compare it with your list, there are the ones unique to your build. There's about 17, so there's 17 different cards. I did mostly MDFCs and a handful of extra vampires. Boglands, as in like Paducah Bog. Oh, do you mean this art on the snow-covered swamp? You'll tell me later. Yeah, this is most of the changes I would do. Something I would have you take a look at some point would be how you, when you're playing the deck, you get a feel for it. Kaya Geist Hunter, Mondrak, and Anointing Procession. One of these probably should go. No, I was talking the Basilica. Yeah, the Orza Basilica. Yeah, it's a good card. I like it. It's better because of all the bounce, the MDFCs we just added to your deck too. Because you play them as lands early, then draw your Basilica late and bounce it. And if you play the Basilica early, you could discard something to reanimate later. If you have reanimation, you don't have very much, but yeah, cool. Yeah, I would take a look at Kaya, Mondrak, and Anointed Procession. Figure out which one is the worst in your deck. I would imagine it would probably actually be Anointed Procession, because Mondrak is that sack outlet stuff. It's probably the best one for your strategy. Anointed is just a formatted quote-unquote do-nothing enchantment. Obviously, if they wrath right afterwards and you have all these demons, it's great. And then Kaya's a planeswalker that can be attacked and killed, but it has more synergy beyond this. Plus, with your Carmen, if your Planeswalker dies and Carmen gets the 3 power, you can then attack and bring the Planeswalker back, which is pretty nice. Sorin Lord Finnistrad. Yeah, very cool. Yeah, this is one of my favorite decks. I took it apart because I had just too many Typal decks at the time, but I definitely regret taking this one apart. It was a very fun one. Okay, let's look back at Iriet and try and find 5 cuts now that I'm thinking about other decks and I'm not as tied to what was here. We're at 39 lands, we can drop 1 or 2. So, going down to 30 actual lands is fine. 3 actual lands, 7 MDFC. That means we only have to cut 3 more actual cards with 34 enchantments, 20 creatures. We have Hayward Mulligan's Felder Profane to fill out our creature removal suite. So obviously, Felder Profane costs 4 mana, and Path to Exile costs 1 mana. That's a pretty huge difference. But we're going to cut Path to Exile because we're right on normal removal because we have a lot of enchantment removal, and that's fine. These are here because they're free. They're lands. And then the last 2 cuts we'll do from in here, taking you to 32. We'll do Parasitic Impetus, and we'll do Redemption Arc. Okay. Okay. That's this deck locked in. Here's Clavellania tokens. Final one we're going to do is Marchesa Control. So this is the one where I'm going to go a little crazy, and then you tell me if I added too many powerful cards. Spellseeker. We are playing Grixis Spellseeker, so we need she's best with flicker effects, so we're gonna go get Arcane Denial. Do you have a mana drain, Gabe? No mana drain. No problem. I won't add it then. Yeah, I see what you meant about all the electrolyzers. Gonna push Lightning Bolt, Peak, Pongify, Stifle, Wash Away, Abrade, Arcane Denial, Counterspell, Demand Answers, Stable Stroke. Imp's Mischief. You don't need to play Imp's Mischief. This is a Grixis deck. You have both red and blue cards. Yeah, all the mana rocks commit crimes. Yeah, there's a fair amount of them that you can do. There's like I really like actually Bounty Board. Vessel is also fine. I don't hate Vessel. There's some free crime cards you can play that are pretty nice. There's I think it's Hex Parasite. Hex Parasite, you just pay 2 life, move up to 0 counters from target permanent, and then so you just pay 0. You just pay 2 life and then pop, hit their thing. So you just then pay 1 mana. So you just it basically builds your own Griselbrand. Because there's no once per turn clause on Marchesa. And this also costs 1 mana. Do you own any VVs? Because we're putting VV in here. Currently only down $25 for VV. On the 14th when he's banned, so you have wait a month to pick him up. He'll be at like 10. So, but we're putting him in here because he's good. Okay, Taxian Probe. Then one look at the top 2 cards of your library, put one of them into your hand, the other into your graveyard. Okay. Well, time function, shoot the sheriff. Can you remember what Outlaw is? It says so on the card, but you're probably gonna play the RCQ promo, right? So. You were right. You did put every electrolyze in here. I'm going to fix your 2 Shivan Reef problem immediately as well. Okay. So the first thing we are going to do Twin Flame Dual Caster Mage. So Twin Flame Dual Caster, if you don't know how this works, Gabe, you Twin Flame targeting anything, you'll Dual Caster, copy the Twin Flame, point the copy at the Dual Caster Mage, infinite 2/2s with haste. March of Otherworldly Light is the right one. I don't need March of... I want March of Swirling Mist. There we go. Lots of free targeting there. And then there's a... Let me pull up my Grixis spells deck. Where's this thing at? Things of Forgotten Lore. This is another Foundations card. It's pretty cool. It's whenever it attacks, you Snapcaster Mage. So it's a repeatable Snapcaster. It's a fun one. Toxic Deluge. Mizzix. Mastery. Cruel Ultimatum. Reach the multiverse. M-N-E-M, Onic, I believe? Yes, Mnemonic Deluge. Lorien Revealed. Brain Surge. Brainstorm. Saw in half. Dig through time. Elminster's Simulacrum. Cool. Thanks. Okay, so we need to play a bit more of the... I wanted to take you into the bigger spells direction. Huge spells are super fun for, like, finishing out commander games, right? Oh, yeah, Grixis is... This one's insane. The amount of MDFCs you can play in this one is ridiculous. Because they all synergize with your deck, too. Bloodsoaked Insight. Amazing spell. Our Trawler is obviously a land. Fellow Profane is a land. Glasspool Mimic. You're not going to have that many creatures. Igor Mauling is really good. Pinnacle Monk is broken. Seagate is very good. If you have a Seagate Restoration, you should play it. If you don't include it. Saloni Vision. Sink into Stupor. Valakut Awakening. Waterlogged Teachings. Goodness, you get to play so many in this deck. It's insane. 46 with MDFC, good lord. Oh, we have the Crime Lands. That's good. Love the Crime Lands for this deck. Strip Mine and Ghost Quarter. I see you were like, oh, yeah, if I destroy lands, I get to draw cards. It's great. And I agree. It is great. Okay, so let's see. What other cool stuff we can do here? Soul Ring Signet. Signet. So Talisman of Creativity, Dominance, Indulgence. You don't have a... You do have an Iron Signet. Is it Signet? Acto Signet. But you're missing the last one? Demir Signet. Yeah. Interesting. Okay. We'll cut the Vessel. Cut the Charcoal Diamond. Okay. We have Reanimate. Let's take a look at... So, your commander is going to fill up the graveyard pretty efficiently as you're committing all these crimes with Hex Parasite and Friends. What's the other one? There was another card that I had. Let me go pull up this list of mine. I had a mono black deck built around the Gisa from Outlaws that I took apart eventually. It was just too good at like maintaining the board state here in 1v1. Sorry, 1 second. I don't know why. Logged me out of my personal one. Let's take a look. Let's see. Yeah, Commander 2025. Paper Commander decks. Mono blue. Yes. There is mono black. What was it? It was... Yeah, Hex Parasite was the creature. And then I went for... Yes, I did a fair amount of like other people's graveyards reanimating. Yeah, Dino DNA. Put that one in this one too. Great card. Liquid Metal Torque. Lets you... What? Is it Liquid Metal? It is Liquid Metal Torque. It's just a mana rock that also can then be a crime. Yes, this was all the stuff. Is that another free one? Yeah, I'm not seeing another one on my deck list, but I do have Lord Shitter in there. Got a little Lord Shitter. Okay. Let's see. Yes, so we could do Snap. It's a free crime trigger that untaps the lands to pay for the trigger when it resolves. Storm Kiln Artist to pay off for all the stuff we're doing. Nightscape Familiar. Love the familiars. This one's also just really good to do that here. I guess Spellskite also works the way we want it to, because it counts when we target their spells in the stack. So, I mean, whenever anyone casts any spell, as long as it has a target, you can make it target Spellskite and then trigger your commander and draw a card. That's pretty decent. Yeah, Iridescent Vine Lasher. Iridescent Vine Lasher. It's great, you know. Whenever you play a land, trigger your crime, draw a card. Anything else I'm missing here? Let me look at my list here more. Those are fine where they are. That one's evil. I should put Dockside Extortions in here. That one might be banned a little bit, so it might be the reason not to. Gabe, do you have a Cyclonic Rift? Oh yeah, I gotta put that one in here. It's one of the most fun cards in Magic. Yes, Psych Rift. Well, Dockside's banned. So I'm not putting Dockside in here. I'm sorry if I'm the one who had to break it for you. Hmm. Yes, that was what it was. Spatial binding. I knew I had it somewhere in here. It's an enchantment for 2 mana. You can pay 1 life until your next upkeep. Target permanent cannot phase out. That's a crime. So you can play this 2 mana enchantment and then pay a life, pay a mana, do a crime. And that's crazy. There's a fair amount of old expensive ones. Relic of Sauron. The card's really good too. Okay. We can actually leave a fair amount of these electrolyzers in here too. I don't think you need the pathways. I unfortunately like the crime lands in this deck, the enters tapped crime ones. Soul Ring, Signet, 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 Torque, Signet, Talisman, 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 Bounty Board, Relic. It's a little high on the mana ramp. What's the color we play in the least of? Is it black? So let's go find the Rakdos Signets and take them out. So the Rakdos Signet and then the Rakdos Talisman can both be cut down on. I like Bounty Board. We're going to leave Bounty Board in. Relic of Sauron. What to do? do. Okay. Pretty much all done here. Let's go trim one more land. Where's our swamps? Down one swamp. Yeah, I think this one will be really fun. So what I did here is I went for some more high impact spells. Breach the Multiverse, Cruel Ultimatum, Afterlife of the Loam, and Hypnotic Deluge are all great ones. You have a lot of card selection with your commander, where whenever you commit a crime, you pay 1 and look at the top 2. So I feel like finding the cards you want is going to be pretty easy as long as you can keep committing crimes. Hex Parasite and the other one, the Spatial Binding, are both really good for this. One concern I might begin to have, and we'll see how it plays out in actuality, is you may lose a little bit too much life to your own effects, considering Hex Parasite needs 2 life and the other one needs 1. But this is kind of the Gristlebrand thing. Like, once this is happening, it doesn't matter if you have no life because you won the game, right? You'll have like 1 life left. You'll be able to just churn through your entire library until you find your Dualcaster Mage Twin Flame combo. So you're either killing everybody with just huge splashy spells, Hypnotic Deluge, exiling a card, playing it 3 times, Breach the Multiverse, milling everybody, and then taking the best creature out of their graveyard, Cool Ultimatum, ending one person's game, like that kind of thing, right? Afterlife from Loam's another. Each player chooses up to 1 target creature card in their graveyard, put them on the battlefield. And also just like Overloaded Mysticus Mastery. This deck's gonna be dope. It's gonna be so cool. So you just get to play like a little mid-rangey, like, yeah, I'm just casting like my little counter spells here and there and keep my stuff alive. And then you get to the late game, which is what you're working towards, and then you just start going big spell, big spell, big spell, big spell. Everyone's dead. And if you don't, you can also just be like, oh hey, everyone's tapped out. Okay, here's Dualcaster Mage Twin Flame, I win. Nice game, guys. So, I think this will be a ton of fun. My one concern, again, is the life loss. So just keep an eye on that when you're playing. If you have a lot of issues with life loss, there's a fair number of instants and sorceries in the black color wedge that are like exchange life totals with target opponent. So you could, in fact, actually, let's look for that. Actually, exchange life. Oh, I could do Deadpool. Yeah, this profane transfusion. If the difference between your life total and target player's life total is 5 or less, exchange life totals. Wow! That's terrible. Do you want to put Tree of Perdition in here so that way if you find one of your pay life abilities and you have this in play, you can just be like, hey, I'm going to take you to 1 now. I think it'd be a funny include. Wait, no, my target opponent's life total with creature toughness. That's the wrong one. We need the mirror, right? Mirror universe is expensive, but we need Magus of the Mirror. Oh wow, never mind. I think I'm just wrong. We're gonna do Profane Transfusion and call it a day. You have the cool art from the Jumpstart. Oh yeah, the tree. Well, yeah. Well, what's the tree in here, anyways? It is target. You do. It is a crime. So yeah, we'll do tree. I also really like Profane Transfusion. Just 9 mana. Yeah, but I'll exchange, and then I'll make this gigantic horror. Seems good. We'll have to cut 2 more cards for it. I think we go for... Let's drop the Spellskite. And then we can drop the VV. We're not casting that many spells. So, like, we're going like one at a time. We're not casting all at once. Alright, cool. Here we are. So I'll make sure they're all listed properly. So our final list here, and I'll put them all in the EDH channel for you, Gabe. So you don't have to go digging for them. Yes, so to recap everything we went over in this stream tonight, before we did the Gabe triple special, we built Shiko Paragon of the Way as a bracket 4 Yorion deck. Technically not legal, because technically Yorion is not allowed to be in your companion zone and commander, but I don't care. I wanted to build a fun Jeskai like spells blink deck that I wanted to put Yorion in the companion zone for. Then we built Iriat Control, which is a bit of a closer to mid-range. I'd almost hazard to call this deck bracket 2, to be honest with you. We're not playing any game changers and that kind of thing, but I think this book will play a lot better than the old build did. It has a couple more haymakers. It has a bit more consistency with long game. We added like Sun Titan, Ondu Spirit Dancer, Pearl Ear, Archon of Sun's Grace as like just immediate like have more fun cards. Hourglass of the Lost, one of my personal like, if you're not playing this card you should be. Artifacts. This killed me the other night. That's why it's on the brain right now. Should do better at keeping itself alive, and also should do better in the long game. Then we took Claveleno and made very little changes to it. We basically just added Sorin combo from Pioneer. Added back in Carmen. You have this card. You may have sold it, but you had this. It came in the precon, so find it. Added the Bloodletter. Just added some more high impact stuff. And then threw with all the MDFCs in here that we had forgotten to do. And then Marchesa Control was a pretty heavy change-up. We cut a fair amount of the bad spells to have different varieties of bad spells, but these ones have higher impact. Instead of just doing nothing, just doing 2 damage to something in Commander, which doesn't matter, and drawing a card, we're instead going to win the game when we cast our bad spells. So that's pretty good. And those were the 4 decks we tuned up today on stream. Thank you everybody for taking a look at this tonight with us. All of the lists are on our Mox field, which is obviously Bracket Builders, on all platforms. It's in the description of this video if you are watching here on YouTube. But that's going to be it for the stream tonight. I hope you're happy with these decks, Gabe. If you want, I have a printer that prints decent looking Magic card proxies, so I can proxy up all the additions to the decks if you want, while you actually get the cards together yourself. Whoops. But yeah, so that's everything for tonight. Thank you guys so much for stopping by for the stream tonight. Have a good one.